record to cloud. There we go. Good morning, everyone. This is Michele, Zaragoza, team leader, Central Valley Realty, over in Tracy, Lodi, Stockton, Manteca, Modesto. We have May here, who's going to chat a little about family reunion and what family reunion means to her. So May, take it away, my friend.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much. I went to family reunion for the very first time in 2018, and it was in Anaheim. And I didn't know quite what I was supposed to do, but I knew I was supposed to be networking somehow
Really
with the other
overwhelmed.
agents. So it was like, what am I going to do? So I was on the, I was in the floor and I was in the KW store, and I saw a man looking at the first time home buyer book. And I thought, okay, I'm going to start there. So I walked up to him and I started talking with him, and I told him, this is a really great book. This is, we have a whole PowerPoint behind this. We can, I can share it with you when we get home. And, it's really helpful to your buyers. It will really help your business. And he looks me square in the face and he takes the book and he sets it down and he says, "Thank you. I'll think about it." And I was like, "No." And he walked away. So I'm like, "No, you're going home with it." So I bought the book, put it in a bag, went over and I handed it to him. He was kind of shocked. But when we got home, I sent him the PowerPoint and told him, you can adjust this to meet your market area. So he got the PowerPoint. He got home. About 3 months later, I get a video message from him saying, "Hey, May, here's your book. I keep it in my office. We're going to have our first home buyer seminar in a week or two. So thank you very much. I really love it." And I was, okay, great. So every month after that, I started getting his letterhead. I didn't get to go to family reunion 2019. But 2020, like 6 weeks before family reunion, end of December, one of the gals I work with says, "Hey, I've got a room at family reunion, and it's got a second room. So if you want to come, you can share a room with me." And I said, "Well, let me see what I can do." So I got my ticket, and it was 6 weeks before family reunion. So it was amazing that I got a ticket right away. And then I looked at airfare and it was only $200 round trip. So I was like, I guess I'm going to family reunion. I emailed my friend and said, um, are you coming? And I never got a response. So I'm at family reunion, 13 to what was it? 13, 16,000 of our closest colleagues. And we're in the lunchroom and our group had just taken a picture together. And I sit down and I look up and here he is walking towards me. I was just like, oh my gosh.
That's so
So,
amazing.
yeah, it was like I meant to be there right then, right now. So he gives me a big old hug and we go out and we start talking. We talked for about an hour and a half. And what I learned was that little book that I gave him, it still kind of brings tears to my eyes. So excuse me, but that little book that I gave him, he took that back and he realized that it came from my heart. There was no strings attached. There was no expectation of anything in return, not even how it felt or what you did. And he tells me that he took that and he ran with it. So his team was the very first team in all of Spain. They were the very first agents in all of Spain to do a home buyer seminar.
Isn't that amazing? She met the people who opened up Spain. Didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
That is so cool. And what a great networking, right?
Right.
I don't
So
know.
that started it. And he's like, my family knows who you are because I was so surprised and shocked that somebody would be so kind without expecting in return. My
Yeah,
team knows who you are because now every single one on our team, all of our buyers, all of our sellers go through a home buying seminar before they buy.
that's
And he goes,
beautiful.
in 2019, when Keller Williams had their family reunion over in that region, he provided an MREA book to every agent that registered from the country of Spain. He gave out over 300 MREAs.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. I love
And
story.
Then he took the picture. We took a picture together. He took that, he put it out on Facebook, and I got to read the comments from the people who got those books. I got one of those books. I'm reading it again. This is my 5th time reading it. It's helped my business. It's helped me grow. And it was amazing to see how one little gift.
Excuse me just for a second, May. You guys, there's somebody who's not muted and I can't figure it out. If you can please all mute yourself and just have respect for the speaker, that'd be awesome. It looks like on my side that everybody is muted, but
It probably is. I have flooring being put in upstairs.
Oh, it is you. Okay.
Sorry.
I feel better.
Sorry. So, I mean, I got to read the comments from halfway around the world about agents who got the benefit of this one $20 book.
That's amazing.
I mean, hundreds of agents, literally. And there was probably 50 comments that popped up almost immediately after he put it. We love you. Thank you so much. That was amazing. Because our story, now he's like, this is our story.
Yes,
So
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It just kind of went to show, how a little bit, when we come from contribution, how far that goes. And I was blessed to find out how far it went. I was honored to be part of that.
That is amazing. They actually hung out with me over in FSO.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which they were sitting right next to me, so we were always grouped up with each other. So that was a lot of fun. But that's a side note. But I just want to tell you, thank you so much for sharing.
Michele to say?
What was that?
Did you meet Michele to say?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So you'll be able to put 2 and 2 together.
That's who it was.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and mute some people. And May, thank you so much for coming from contribution and sharing your story. I appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me.
My pleasure. I believe there is one more announcement. Danny and Krista, did you want to share right now?
Hi, everybody. Yes, we are bringing to you starting this Thursday. We are launching the DTD2 call night every first Thursday of every month. So we are going to be still respecting social distancing. You can come into the office. There's plenty of space for everybody to be spaced out. We're also going to be providing a Zoom link. So then that way, if you want to join via Zoom, I'm going to cast it in the office so you'll be able to see what everybody else is doing. Super excited, but a great way. Let's make it a call night, a successful one, and get some more listings. Let's do it, guys. DTD2 call night starting this Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. See y'all there. Super excited.
Danny and Krista, thank you for leading with
all there. Yes, and then, yeah. So I also wanted to add on to that, if anyone wants to join us for best scripts for Wednesday at 11:30, just to get yourselves warmed up for the calls on Thursday. So
awesome.
Okay,
And
we'll see you there.
And that's with everybody on the script practicing, right? There's a link already on the calendar, correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Awesome. Great. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I see everyone's still like texting me right now. Okay, you guys, we're going to move forward here. Tony, thank you so much for coming to our team meeting and sharing what you know best, obviously, is profit share in the 4 quadrants. And when I saw you on that one call, I'm like, why haven't I brought him into our Zoom life? So here you go. Take it away, Tony. Thank you.
Hey, first of all, I want to congratulate y'all. Michele posted those stats of y'all in market share across Stockton, Lodi, Tracy. Unbelievable job, agents, like in leadership. It's incredible to see the growth. And Michele, awesome leadership.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It takes a team.
So let me just hit a few points, and I'm not going to take too much of your time today. I know a lot of you. I see some really familiar faces. Tony Brodie, regional operating partner, was the RD role. By the way, there's going to be a new announcement this afternoon on a big leader for the region coming. So when you get that buzz, we're real excited. just kind of where we are as a company right now. Keller Williams is currently at 100. These are stats I would consider using on your listing presentations to help show that value of kind of where we are on a macro. So I'd encourage y'all to write some notes. Right now, we're at 160,000 agents strong in the United States and Canada. 160,000. Even despite the pandemic last year, Keller Williams still had a record-breaking year. We grew significantly. We currently have, I believe it's about 11% of the whole market in the United States, which is significantly ahead of the competition. What's also really cool now is, Michele, is worldwide we're at 30,000, close to 30,000 agents. And
Wow.
that's in about, I believe it's about 50 or 55 countries outside of the United States and Canada.
Wow.
So we're rapidly growing, and when you're the incumbent, it's hard to continue to keep expanding. And there's no question, 2020 was a great pivotal year. I don't know if anybody was able to jump in and saw the Josh team versus Kelman from Redfin debate last week. Did anybody see that on Inman?
No, I didn't.
Okay, Michele, you need to go watch that and see if we can get it out. And what this is, agents in leadership, it is a very significant difference on the future of real estate, and also highlights when Gary was on the stage Inman 3 or 4 years ago in San Francisco, and that one-on-one, how accurate he was and predicted where the industry's headed. If you and Suzanne, you need to see this video, because and it got a little heated. And without a doubt, it was like Kelman basically, without saying the word, said our agents, we treat them as employees. This is it, and this is what they're going to. It's a job. And Josh just refuted it and said, no, our agents are the customers. They own the database. There's no cap in how much money we want to help our agents make and build these massive businesses. And it's very significant. And I left that conversation or that dialogue, it made me very proud to be part of a company that's treating that you guys are the customers. We want to empower you through the data, the intelligence, the insights, the smart plans, et cetera. And you drive it through your agent. So, Michele, I think it'd be awesome for you to somehow get that out.
I will look for it, and I already have somebody texting me saying that they're looking for it, so that's good. So thank you.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, I'll just give y'all an update, because I know there's a lot of new agents on here. I haven't, unfortunately, had a chance to meet yet. Just kind of what you're a part of. You're part of Northern California, Hawaii region, which we consist of 35 franchises, offices in the region. We now have about 5,400 agents, and our territory within those offices, right? You've got, we go far up, kind of up into Chico, Yuba Sutter, right? And then we actually have the rights all the way over to Tahoe. We're looking right now, we need to get back into Tahoe at some point. We'd love to be like Truckee area or Tahoe City. And then y'all know all the offices typically around the East Bay. We have a ton of offices in the Sacramento area. We go all the way down East Bay to Fresno. And then we head over to, on the lower side of the region, got like Carmel, Santa Cruz. We go up all the way up the peninsula, all the Bay Area, a lot of the luxury markets there, up into the wine country, et cetera. And then we also now have offices on every island in Hawaii. The Big Island is opened, currently business centers, but it's there. So we have presence on Maui, Kauai, Big Island, and then Honolulu is kind of our big office there. So the reason I share that with you as leaders or as associates, as you lead generate, I think it's important to understand where we are. It's for this referral business, et cetera. And when we get out of this COVID thing, we start doing events together, just that networking piece, and as much as we can do right now. Michele, instead of the PowerPoint, can I just talk a little bit about profit share? Let's just do it that way. Yeah, and then I'll get into the cash flow.
I did get a text from Ashley. She sent me the link for the Inman interview, so it's in the chat box right now for you. Okay.
Love that. And the value of that team is just get the perspective of where Gary and Josh are taking this company and our belief. And it also shows that 4 years ago, when Gary said, we're going to be a tech company and we're going to build the data and intelligence from our agents. So what does that mean for y'all in terms of opportunity? I did some numbers, Michele, before the call today. And I want y'all to put this in perspective, because Gary Keller, a lot of times will say, I hear this a lot, and he says the number one passive income earner or profit share earner in Keller Williams hasn't joined us yet.
I like that.
And always, and when he asks that question, I go, I hope he understand that. So here's what he means by that. Since 1987, when they reinvented the company, from 83 to 87, Gary reinvented the company. And since then, Keller Williams has profit shared $2.5 billion back to the agent. $2.5 billion of our amazing franchise owners have shared half of that money roughly back to the associates, to those as a thank you for joining the company. Now, what's happened is in the last 3 years, out of that 2.5 million, there's been 500 million. 500 million has been shared in the last 3 years, where it took 30 years to get 2 billion. So my point is, the checks now are more significant than they've ever been. The money's more real. The Keller Who days are over, and the number one profit share husband-wife team last year did over 1.5 million. And Gary's saying we have so much upside. It's just getting started. So I think that's a little history. It's unbelievable. Now, if I can just break this down, because I don't want to get into the math and the numbers. What's really cool is your team is so committed to have the best businesses, run it through the systems and models, to coach and train your agents, to engage. And with that, there's profitability for your franchises that are back to being shared. Now, to receive this gift, and I love what Mo Anderson calls it. It's the gift of the real estate gods. And I'll show you how that looks in terms of a quadrant. Is if I were just chunking down, if I was an agent, whether you've been with us for 10 years or you just joined us in the last year or two, how do I receive this gift of passive income? And I just want you to write just 3 things have got to happen. The first thing that's got to happen is you got to sponsor someone into Keller Williams. Okay. Now, right now we have, it's close to 800 offices in the United States and Canada, and then also our franchises worldwide. So sponsor/refer, meaning our team leaders are equipped, our leadership is equipped to share the value proposition, to have the consultative business conversations, to help them self-discover that we're a great fit for them and their business and their family. So sponsor anywhere we have a Keller Williams franchise. Now, roughly, Keller Williams offices tend to operate 90 to 95% per year of our franchises are making money. So as you lead generate and you refer people, because the second piece is that agent you refer that office to, it has to be profitable. There has to be profits to share. That's the thing. And then the third thing is they have to produce. I believe you would agree that it would be silly to reward profits for referring an agent that doesn't produce to the office, right? So one of the things is you look at Stockton, Modesto, Tracy, and your surrounding areas and your businesses, is when someone joins your office, right, a Keller Williams office, whether you sponsor them into the company or not, everybody in the company wins. That's the big cultural difference to other copycat models, or some people who want to say that, because they base it off the top number. Because when somebody joins, and even if they're not in your thing, well, in their production, what happens to that office, to your market share of your franchise? It goes up. What happens to the profitability of the business, the market center? It goes up. What happens to the size of the profit share checks, because there's more production and business and profit? The checks, whether they are significant. So I think it's good to start there, Michele. When somebody joins, everybody in the company wins, and that is a big point of difference in a profit share model. You're in it together with the franchise investors, with the operating partner, with the leadership. You're on the same side of the table.
Well,
So I think that's really key.
With the track record that we've had with Stockton, Lodi, and Tracy, I mean, think about it. There was no profit share when we took it over in 2012. None whatsoever, right? It took us 18 months or something like that. Suzanne will know that number off the top of her head. I don't remember when it was, but it was something like 18 months. So we're excited to actually explode this in Manteca and Modesto too. So we're excited.
I love that. And I remember because I started in March of 2013, and to think where, it was, and now it's real and still with a lot of upside. So I love that. The second thing, and the other thing is, I think that is, there's three other big pieces to this when you think about how money works, right? There's zero risk. Like, there's absolutely zero risk. There's a $25 at the beginning of the year profit share fee that you'll probably see in your bill. That's it to be into the profit share system. There's zero liability. Unlike us who take the risk, or involved in market centers and stuff, we have liability. But you're basically an owner or a partner in the business with zero risk, zero liability. And the third thing that I think it's important to understand is you also have zero management responsibilities. You're not in the game of brokering and answering questions and all that. What you're doing, and it's nice to help people in your profit sharing if you choose to, but that's not required. So it's like taking the best, and Suzanne can probably relate to this. It's taking the best of owning a real estate franchise, and then taking the stuff that she may or may not love about it, and you just focus on the best as an agent. She's laughing, right? Because it's reality. So to me, it's like people say, "How I want to own a Keller Williams franchise," and my response is, "You do. You have it." Like there will be $170 million probably shared. Last year there was 170 million shared back to the agents. The year before that was 167. 2018 is 170. It's like, how much of that do you want? That's there for you without all the other stuff. So I think that's really, really important to kind of have that mindset. Just some other kind of some little things on profit share is you're vested as long as you've been with the company for 7 years. For those who joined us, I believe it was March or April of last year, March 1st or April 1st. If you're with us, if you joined us between now and then, if you're the company with us 7 years, the opportunity never ends. You'll be vested. Many of you on this call, I know a lot of these faces have been with us before then, 10 months or longer. You're vested. That was a 3-year vesting period. Second thing is it's a willable asset. So when you signed up with KW, you had who's your beneficiary. Your market center had that document. So it's an asset that's willable, that it's always going. And then the third thing is what especially we're seeing a lot now as the company continues to evolve and just time kind of takes care of that, is there's so many individuals who have significant amount of profit sharing. They're invested and they're still building their profit share. It's a business that just keeps on going. And the other thing here is too is there's no it's purely passive income because there's no requirement that you have to have this so many on your first level. If not, you lose this. And the other key thing is we're privately held, and any decisions that are made through the company goes through our agent leadership council, goes through our regional ALC and then our national ALC. And this is a big point of difference between privately held and publicly traded. Publicly traded, and they do it every day. They can change the rules at anything that's best for the stakeholders or the shareholders. Our model is any decision has to get voted on through our ALC that goes up to our international ALC, which culturally is just really, really cool. And it's a big, big point of difference. So I think it just goes back to, I'm saying we're on the same side of this together. Okay. Couple other things, Michele, then I'll close with the cash flow, and then we can just have any dialogue you want.
What I really like, Tony, is what you mentioned about the passive part instead of being active part. There's another company out there right now, right? And they're talking about that, and they're trying to go side by side with us. And you have to be active. You personally have to be active, and then they have to be active in order to get the in order to get the active income. And they
Absolutely.
don't do it that way.
Well, what happens is you're exchanging and building a sustainable business model through people, right? That can sustain itself through leads lists, right? And understand the models, and then creating this passive income versus replacing that for being active and just going there. And it's a fundamental difference of how we think about a business should be run and passive income works. It's a big difference between passive and active in that mindset. So if I were to ask you, and I love what May said earlier, what is the one thing you can do in the next 2 weeks for everybody on this call whether you receive profit share or not, if you have, how do you go get more? if you don't have anybody, if you haven't received profit share yet, what can I do in the next 2 weeks? Is work with Michele, work with Peggy, work with you, Sam, Pat, work with your leadership in your market center, and who's the who in your last 12 or co-op transactions in your local marketplace that we can extend an invitation to family reunion. To say, hey, you need to come watch Gary Keller's vision speech with me. It's this time at this day. Like, how can let's Zoom together? Let's meet in the market center and be COVID compliant. Like, whatever y'all do. Like, that's not right. Just make sure you're safe and all that. But who's the who that you can invite and come and culturally have them experience Gary's vision speech, the state of the company, the masterminding with the top producers, whatever y'all are doing locally. And to me, that's the most important thing to do. I mean, Suzanne, Michele, we know this. We used to be able to take a guest to family reunion. One person typically cost about $2,000 to fly into Vegas and get hotels and all that. And now for $80 roughly, right? Like y'all can you can just get a plan and go, I care about your business. You need to come experience that.
So we have Chrissy who's on here. She's part of our ALC in Modesto. She referred us 2 mega agents, and they're coming. And we have Carlos who has referred. He's another ALC member. Referred, I believe we're at 3 for him. So because the other 2, they are still coming. Just so you know, Carlos. So that's 3. We just added to his potential downline. So very, very exciting. So the ALC is jumping in. We need everybody to jump in, right? Because we do have a couple other people like Ashley Pradell, Desiree Vasquez, who's so close to being in the 100% club.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And for those who don't know what that is, like they do is when you receive more in profit share than what you pay yearly into your cap per year.
Wow.
That's awesome. So wow. So Keller Williams is right. The other thing I want you all to have a mindset on, and I love talking about this at the beginning of the year because we're still, wherever you are in your business or financial or your income goals, we're February 1. We can hit it. Mo Anderson did a study, and this was about 3 or 4 years ago. And my guess is today it's more significant because of the profit share numbers I just said. It says the average agent in Keller Williams, when you help people self-discover that KW should be their home, if you get 15 of those conversations or 15 people who join your profit share tree, the average agent 3 or 4 years ago made over $50,000 in passive income.
That's exciting.
Passive, not active. You don't have to keep it up. There's no hidden things in there, and that's who we are as a 50. That's the average. So if I were to chunk that down, and I would like to say, hey, what would it look like if this year I focused on 5 people? Next year I will focus on 5. In 3 years you could have 5. Whatever your plan is with Michele and your team leaders, right? Like, what does that look like? $50,000, and then people, it's a challenge to build wealth overnight. The wealthiest people I read books on or study all did time on task over time. Like my theme this year for my personal growth is time on task over time on things I want to learn and things that I want to impact in terms of finance, right? So don't think this is not an overnight thing, and building wealth is not an overnight thing. But what happens is, when you can help, there's a 7-level system to it. So when you can help one person discover that Keller Williams is a great cultural fit for their business and their family, and then you can help them receive profit share. You're building this passive income stream that takes a life of its own, and a kind of a culture within it. So a strategy would be is when you lead generate every day, Gary suggests, and to be a millionaire real estate agent, it's 2 to 3 hours. We know that. We've talked about it, right? What would it look like if you did time on task over time in that lead gen? You spend 5 to 10 minutes a day, and when you're calling your database or you're calling your allied resources or you're calling when you're doing your activities, you say, hey, who else do you know that is looking for a potential change in the real estate business, or who do you know is looking to get into real estate? And Michele, I built my downline when I was an agent before a team leader. A lot of it was with new agents because I would ask that bartender or that waiter or the server or the golf person, say, hey, do you know anybody's looking to get into real estate? And what happens is 50% of the time they either know their sister, their friend, or they have a lead for my real estate business. You're going to get that. So just by asking that. And then the other thing is work with, obviously command, all the local education you're doing. Just be a great inviter. The leadership there is skilled and asking the right questions in the business consultations. We don't need to go down this path of what to say, not to say. Just be a great inviter to the great cultural events y'all create in your own office. Okay. Now, I did this, and Michele, just to save time, already kind of wrote it out a little.
Yeah, that's
But,
fine. That's
whoa,
fine.
whoa. That was a fail. Okay, hold on.
It's fine.
So let me make sure y'all can see it. And I'll close with this, and we'll just kind of have anything else y'all want to talk about. But here's how I think money works. And this is Gary Keller. This was about 10 years ago. He asked me to reread a book called Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. How many of you ever read this book or have heard of it? Okay. Or Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If I would encourage you to put on your reading for this quarter, is go get that book if you haven't read it. And Gary goes, this is the most important book I want you to read because it gets you to think about how money works, but other than the books he wrote, right? But also how the real estate industry operates. And when I reread it, this is about 10 years ago, when I was a team leader in Austin, Texas, I go, okay, this is very clear how the real estate industry.
Oop.
And what it says is basically, and I'll just do a quick synopsis, but there's four different ways to earn wealth in the world. You can either be an employee, self-employed individual, which by the way, the real estate industry is, a business owner, or an investor. And what the studies show every single year, and I just looked it up again, is roughly 95% of the world operates as an employee or self-employed. 5% operates as a business owner and investor. And these 95% who operate over here actually only earn 5% of all the wealth in the world. Which fascinates me, Michele. That's not even the 80-20 principle. It's even more dramatic, right? And the 5% over here earn 95% of the wealth. So the question is, where are you today and where do you want to be? A lot of times I hear people say, hey, I own my own business. If I were to ask you, what do you do for a living? Many of you would say, I'm in the real estate business, or I'm in the lead generation business that happens to be in real estate. All that's good. I have a mindset. I'm actually in the talent search business. I'm in the business of finding great talent to help me build my business that's in alignment to the vision of where I want my business to go. And it gets you thinking of what it looks like over here. So the way I look at this is, think about the employee quadrant. Like, that's the W-2 contracts. And in the real estate business, I think of these as broker-focused brands. These are your local boutiques, the rheology companies, right? And tell me if I'm wrong, but, and they're not bad. Please tell me, I'm not saying it's just a different model, is they want you to believe your success in real estate is dependent on who?
Them.
Absolutely, Carmen. Yes, they're the brand. Yes. And when you have that mindset, what are they in control of?
You. Your business.
Absolutely. They're in control of your business. How? They're in control of your listings. They're in control of your money, your splits. They're in control of your branding. And they have this employee belief, right? So this was, and you get services for that and all that. And this was the industry till about the 1980s. Then down here, you have the self-employed quadrant. And to me, this is the independent companies, right? Maybe your small indie brokers, but also your RE/MAX models. Some of the new they're up there. And it's kind of like, hey, we're not going to provide all these services like a dependent model, but good luck, go sell homes and we'll give you a higher split and all that. And it's very independent mindset. So Gary had to try to create a model, and he did in the 80s, of how can we be interdependent? Take the best of both of this, the best of this and best of that, and create a business model that treats our agents as high-level business owners. So in 1983, started Keller Williams in Austin, Texas. He built the largest real estate company in 4 years, 83 to 87. But at the same time, he was running traditional real estate splits, meaning, Michele, they weren't capped yet. These agents were always still paying money into Keller Williams. So what I love about this piece is what that conversation happened then. It's our model today. He says, what would it look like if we can move forward and create a company where nobody would ever want to leave? And he listened, just like he listened to the agents. And they said, well, Gary, what if we had a cap model? We grow our business. As we grow it, we're going to keep 100% of our commissions per annum once we cap. And how brilliant is that? Because right there, it's taking a self-employed industry to being a business owner. Because what happens, Michele, if an agent keeps more of their money? Where do they have more now income to turn around and brand who?
Themselves.
Themselves.
Mhm.
Who do buyers and sellers work with?
The
Do they
agent.
work with the agent or the company?
The agent.
That's right. Back to the Inman interview. Listen to it loud and clear about, and just don't think it's really KW versus the industry when you hear that. The agents. The second thing is you now have more money to brand yourself, but also turn around and outsource the 80% of what you don't like to do. And my guess is what most of you don't like to do is not the key things that drive your business. So we turn around and who do we hire?
An assistant.
That's right. So now we're being a business owner because now you got leverage in your business. We do that through a class called Career Visioning. Okay, if you haven't taken it, I'm teaching a lot this year in the region, 30, 60, 90, all of it. I'd love for you to be part of that. How to be a high-level business owner through people. So then they said, Gary, well, we're a privately held company, and what would it look like? Would you be willing to share 50% of your profits back to us if we can help grow your company? That was an aha because he goes, I can't do all this myself. I'll be willing to share 50% of the profits to you by referring productive agents to the market center. Very cool. And I gave you the numbers earlier. We're now 2.5 billion and counting. Then they said, and I think this is the biggest difference, Michele, between us and the competition. If we're going to share profits, you're willing to do that. We need to have high integrity. We need to open the books. We're an open book company. We're going to open the financials because you're a partner in this business. And any decisions we're going to make, we're going to do it, not all decisions, but a lot of decisions, we're going to get the feedback from our top producers, and we do that through who?
The ALC.
The ALC. If you could just say, what is the fundamental cultural foundation difference between our model and the rest of the real estate world? It's that piece right there. And then what happened? I haven't even mentioned MREA yet. I haven't mentioned KWU, the training, the systems and models, but just with that piece, Keller Williams started to expand. They started to grow, and we just started exploding. And a few years later, he wrote a book, Leads, Listings, Leverage, right? And now I would argue our platform is Command. We're building a technology platform. It's not perfect. It never will be perfect, by the way. But we own the data. We have the intelligence. And every day it's getting better and better, where you now own the data and you go directly to the consumer and you create that Netflix experience for the consumer through you, right? And then MREA, and then what happens is you're focusing on building a business, and it frees you up now. On this bottom right here is the I quadrant, where your money works for money. And to me, the best is zero liability, zero management, zero responsibility, and that's through profit share. Now here's how I explain it, Michele, and you've probably heard me do this.
No,
Is this, well, I think like everybody on this call, if you had this thought to your friends who are in the industry, not with us yet, is this a 49ers fan club or Oakland Raider?
Gotta be 49ers.
This is, I know, I saw
49ers.
I've seen
49ers.
Lisa at a game before, so I know she's 40. Okay, 49ers.
Niners
All
all
right.
the way.
49ers all the way. Here's how I would encourage y'all to think about how this works, right? And when you're having dialogue with your friends, and relate it to whatever they're passionate about. So I would go, so talk to me, like, what's your favorite sport? And they'll go, football. Cool. So who's your favorite football team? The 49ers. Awesome. So who's your favorite player of all time for San Francisco? Joe Montana.
Mhm.
Okay,
Jerry Rice.
awesome.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry
Frank
Rice.
Gore. Frank Gore.
Frank Gore.
Go
All right.
Staley.
Montana. I had
Oh,
dinner with him. Just saying.
Okay.
I do
Any of
love
those are
Go
great.
Staley.
So I would go Montana, and I would say, can I ask you a question? This is perfect in honor of the Super Bowl season, right? Did Joe Montana make more money throwing the quarterback as a quarterback, or did he make more money in endorsements when he was playing?
Endorsements.
Significantly, yes.
Mhm.
Great. So it's been 20, 25 years since Joe Montana's played. Does Joe Montana still make significant amount of endorsement money today?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, let me
Other
ask you,
businesses.
where's your endorsement money? Like I see your potential to be the Joe Montana of the real estate industry, or you are the Joe Montana of the real estate industry. And Mr. and Mrs. Co-op agent or friend, if today was your last day of selling real estate, right? If this was your last closing or your last listing presentation, what specifically has your broker done to help you be the 5% who receives 95% of all the passive income in the world? Like what does that look like for you and your family? What is that opportunity? Okay, right? Because they typically want you to be over here. Then I would say, do I have permission from my wonderful team leader to give you a call and talk to them about the opportunity map in our company? If any of this interests you, to help you, for you and your family to be on this side of the quadrant. Awesome. I'm going to have Michele give her a call and have this dialogue with you. Because what happens is, here's the reality, and I'll close with this. A lot of us, me included, we always think we're business owners, and we want to get into real estate because we want to own our business. And my question to you is, could you get up today, and I'm in, by the way, could you go to Cabo San Lucas for 3 months today? February, March, April. We come back May 1st. You come back May 1st, and you don't touch your business for 3 months. What's happened to your organization?
It's over.
Like what?
It's gone.
Like it's gone. Do you have business?
It dies.
Right.
Okay.
It's dying. Do you have stress?
Maybe
Absolutely. Right. So my challenge to you, this is kind of my litmus test as I leave this, is if we can't unequivocally say, or we have passive income to help fund our life and our business, if we can't fundamentally say our business will be the same, we have an opportunity, you do to think like a business, get into command, understand the MREA models and systems, the shift, understand your financials, but also help other people experience. Because if not, what happens is we're going to be over here, and we got to break through. To me, it's like if I just kind of button this up, the real estate industry is over here. Employee, self-employed. Gary Keller created the company for our agents to live their life, be the business owner, receive that profit share, get engaged, and impact as many people as you can. So go find that Joe Montana.
there you go. On that note, Tony, I have a friend. A lot of people know her, Michele. She was a TL down south, and she was a TL maybe like for, let's say, 6 years, but she was a mega agent for Simi Valley for many, many years, and now she's living in Cancun off her profit share. She didn't keep her team. She's just living off her profit share because she grew everywhere. Yeah. And she's growing right now in Cancun. She's growing their office. She pops in there. She teaches every now and then. Not in Spanish.
I love it.
Yeah. I
mean,
that's an amazing thing.
Yeah. The other way to look at this, y'all, is think about it this way. Like sometimes we get caught up in 500 a month or 1,000 a month or whatever. I'm a big proponent of what's your net worth, or what are you doing to work on your net worth? Let me give you an example. If Michele, if we can help y'all receive this gift, and let's say in a year or two, or maybe some of you already be there, and it comes out to $2,000 a month, that's $24,000 a year. just on the profit share piece, how much do you have to have in the bank at 1% interest? We can laugh at that number, but like, let's just be conservative. 1% interest to receive $2,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
2.4 million. Do y'all understand that? So what happens is sometimes I look at it like you have option A, right? We could go save 2.4 million and put it in a 1% rate, or y'all can have an opportunity to get serious with your local leadership about helping as many people join this wonderful company. I'll take option B.
Right?
I've taken option B. I haven't. My role is to do this and help other people. But back when I was an agent, I made this a focus of mine, and it's a lot easier today than it was back then, because we're the Keller who. We're no longer Keller who. We're the #1 real estate company in the world, and we're still growing. And we're moving into a whole new evolution. So it's right in front of you. The other thing, Michele, I'd ask, or I'm going to encourage, is when I do my financial goals every year, and this is a good exercise to think about, is for those of you who want more of this, and maybe it's just not profit share, it's investing in real estate, right? It's in whatever that may be. And think about your business, like how much of your 2020 income was in the employee quadrant, self-employed, how many business owner and investor, and take your total income and put some percentages into it and set some goals around it. Like if I want to move if 90% of my income's over here, 10's here, then how many rental properties do I need to look at or invest in this year to move that needle? So it's kind of a good way to pause and think about, like, where are you financially, and what number would excite you? To me, this is the freedom side of life over here, and everybody here has that same opportunity. What else?
I totally agree with that. So somebody was asking me the breakdown. Did you want to share the breakdown and how that works?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. So the first level, it's based on, so an agent sells home, right? And they contribute company dollar to the office. So if you refer somebody to Keller Williams and they've already capped, you're not going to profit share on that individual because they no longer contributed to the income of the office until their anniversary starts over. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So there's a percentage of the total company dollar done. The office pays expenses. Then we have profit. Then that percentage is based out and it's distributed that way. So you have a profit share pool amount for per month, right? Based on the production and the profitability of the office and if they capped or not. And that first level is 50%. You'll receive 50% of that profit share pool. Then it goes 10, 5, 5, 7.5, 10, 12.5. So levels 2 through 7 actually equals 50%, the same amount of level 1. Now, what's the thought process of that? Why is level 1 50% and everything else is lower? Well, level 1 takes some effort. You've influenced the individual. When they join Keller Williams and the team leaders are consulted to ask the question, who's the person most responsible for me joining today? You had the influence to have them join Keller Williams, right? And then what happens, it goes down and it goes back up again. The reason it goes back up again, what studies show is over time, you're actually going to make more money on profit share on levels 4, 5, 6, and 7 than you will on level 1. Because it's the leverage piece. Level 1 is the focus. It's whatever, build it wide. And then when that happens, it naturally goes deep and the tree just begins to expand. To me, level 1 is lead gen, it's focus, etc. Level 2 through 7 is purely leverage for your business and passive income.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Also, just to point this out too, is we all retain that person for you, right? But it's also nice when you do sponsor somebody that you keep plugging into them as well. and keep encouraging them and keep coaching them because they listen to you and they hear you. Do you follow me?
Yeah. We also have, plug them in. You'll have all the training, all the systems. If you get an opportunity, work with your leadership and get a KPA, find out their lead traits, like where are they going to shine in terms of lead gen strategies, et cetera. I mean, there's so many tools to help them to ensure that they're matched to their behavior that they'll succeed. That we help them because we understand who they are and how they tick.
That's beautiful.
Yep. Michele, I would just challenge this group. How many people do we have on? 66?
Uh-huh.
What if everybody just invited one person to family reunion from this group today?
Imagine how amazing that will be.
What significantly overnight, what would that do for the profit sharing of the agents, for your production and your market share collectively as a team? Like if I could leave that, I'm not sure, maybe it's less or more, I'm sorry if I'm doing, but it was everybody could just have that mindset of bringing a friend that needs to experience our culture at the highest level. Can't wait till we open up and you can do it locally again, but come experience this great training.
Well, I know
it's just a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity.
Mackenzie has a list of everybody who's on here, and maybe, I don't know, I might throw something out there. I got to think about it in my mind because I have a tendency just to, okay, let's do this. But let me think about it for a moment. Don't laugh, Suzanne. I just saw you. So give me a moment to figure out a little contest here because you are the 66 that showed up. You are the 66 that are plugging into your office because it's about you. The culture is you. It's not me. It's not Suzanne. It's not the ALC. It's all of us together because together everyone achieves more.
Michele, I think right now too, there's 1,000 agents. I think it's around that right now in our region going so far that are registered. So we're at the top. It's moving fast. The goal is 60,000 agents, 60,000 real estate agents at family reunion.
I believe Stockton and Modesto is like Stockton's at 36 and Modesto's like in the high 20s last time I looked. So, maybe we need to like put a little.
Well, I think Fresno's at 37 now.
Oh, well, let me just, I'm not with Joanna and I, all right?
I don't know.
That was me, Tony.
I know how to, you gotta push a little bit, Peggy, right?
You don't have to push me. She's already texted me, I'm sure. It's Monday. Yeah. But anyways.
By the way, y'all, also at family reunion, we're gonna have our awards party. We have some fun events going. I promise you we'll make it as best we can as it would be live. It's going to be a great event as well. So when you get there, let's make sure you celebrate our performers and network, and it'll be a great time as well.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions? We have a couple different announcements that we want to share with you before closing out, but I just want to thank Tony for taking the time out of his busy day. We really appreciate it.
Can't wait to see y'all live, hopefully this year.
I know. It will happen. Positive thinking. We're throwing it out. Thank you
guys.
Love you,
Michele.
Thank you so much.
Right. You bet. Anytime. Bye-bye.
Don't say that. We know what's going to happen if he says anytime, right? All right, you guys, let's talk about our vision. Vision for 2021. It's increased listings by 10%. So I don't know if you saw the mastermind class that we threw out there for you. It's coming up in the next couple weeks. It's on the save the date that Alyssa will be sending out today. And you guys asked Chris to come back, and Chris is actually going to start with, I got a listing appointment. Now what? What do you do? How are you showing up, right? Do you have a listing package? Do you not have a listing package? Are you like just saying, hey, Des, I know you know me for the last 20 years. You want to list with me? Great. Woo woo. Or are you coming prepared, right? So I just think it's very important. And we will be doing these masterminds moving forward throughout the year because it is about increasing our listings by 10% together. So, and I know Patty's going to be bringing her coach in to be chatting with us about numbers. And so if there's somebody that you guys all know that you're networking with, let me know. Let's see what we can do, okay? Patty would like to share her screen. There we go.
Okay, this is going to come out to you guys in a couple different formats because as we were just discussing, really the benefit of understanding the culture of Keller Williams is getting you all into production, right? And having a good time while doing it. So if you need some help with that, there's some really good training that's available to you this week, not just from our region and internationally, but also here locally. So I just wanted to point out a few. On tomorrow, on the 2nd, our region puts on our chat session, and that is by Zach Younger. Zach Younger is all things Command, you guys. He's doing an open forum on designs for Command. So if you are a Canva user, right, and you want to start using designs more in Command, which now integrates to anything you push out on social media and also on your email campaigns, you'll want to chime in tomorrow with Zach at 12:30. On Wednesday, our productivity coach, so any new agent that hasn't plugged in with our productivity coaching system here, you'll want to pop in at 10:30 with Barbara. And all these, when you guys get them out by email, these are all clickable links, all right? So you won't have to go searching for the link. You literally hover over the name and it'll push you out to the right location. Another one I want to point out on Wednesday is Scripts with Beth. Beth is based out of our Stockton office. She's been doing this series for quite a while, and all the agents who pop on there and practice their scripts have had great success with that. So if you want some role play practice there, 11:30 with Beth on Wednesdays. And then let's see, two more days.
Wednesday, the wealth building class with KWRI. I was on it last week. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And sometimes it goes into like investments too, like working with investors. I would just, go on there and just listen a little bit, right? So, yeah. Definitely.
And if you haven't already done the Prospector Plus training, I know we all switched over to that new Metro List Prospectors Plus. CVAR, is putting one on this Wednesday. Next week, there will be one just for our office, but it's important that we plug into those just to get dialed in. I think there was just one more class here that I wanted to point out to you guys that was here locally. Let me just look at, okay, Robert Brand. He is on Thursday the 4th, Staying Out of Court. If you guys haven't watched Robert Brand, that's at 10:30. He is hilarious. And you just get a lot of really good information from him. So Staying Out of Court, or Staying Out of Real Estate Jail, as he likes to call it, with Robert Brand, that's through CVAR. You'll want to save the date, February the 4th at 10:30.
He really dials in. For the life of me, talk about COVID right now. It's the
TDS.
Thank you. TDS, he hits that hard. And if you have any questions regarding the TDS, you need to be there. You need to be there.
And we do have one evening class on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. If you have not been an agent that has worked a distressed market, meaning REOs, bank-owned properties, short sales, notice of default, notice of trustee sales, if none of that made sense to you, you need to pop on 6:30 p.m. February the 4th with Patrick Rabello. He's going to get you up to speed with the intro to distressed properties. So what is that language? Because if you listen to the vision speech from Carrie Keller that's coming through Family Reunion, there's definitely some of that in the forefront. So you want to be prepared for the market ahead, not the market we're in. All right, that's it. You will get all this by email, so keep an eye out for it, and we'll also be posting it on our Facebook pages.
Patty, just a question. Did you, Patty?
Yes.
Did you say Beth? Hi, Patty. Did you say Beth Stein? Did you say that?
Yeah, Beth Steiner on here. I'll tell you.
No, Beth is doing scripts on Wednesday.
Yes.
And then Beth Steiner she taught.
So is she doing that? So she's doing that class again? She did a class recently on wealth building. Same thing?
Okay. This is an ongoing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, good.
Wealth building, and now it's like an ongoing thing. I think it's like twice a month on Wednesdays that KWRI has put together, and Bev was a guest.
Okay, yeah, I went to that. I was wondering when they were going to, okay, good. That's
So
what I was.
it's on our internet, and they save the dates and the week ahead.
Okay, okay.
So
Thank
that brings to mind. Thank you so much. So that brings to mind when we were with our ALC at our retreat. There's an email that goes out with the calendar from our intranet that automatically goes out. If you're not receiving it, stop me and ask me to do it for you. I'd be more than happy to. Because once I showed it to the ALC, they were like, "What? We've never even got that." And if everybody was receiving that, it would probably alleviate all the emails. It's just I heard some people like, "No, no, no, I don't want it. I don't want it." But yet we'll also hear, "I didn't get that email. I didn't get the calendar. I didn't get the schedule. When was that class?" So if you guys were all plugged into the calendar part with the intranet, you'll see everything. Everything. As long as it's updated correctly, you'll see everything. But it comes out every single morning, I'm sorry, via email. I get them from both the offices. So if you want that, let me know, or let the tech dude know, or let Patty know, or let one of the front desks know.
We just had a question on family reunion. I did put in the link in the chat, but it's familyreunion.kw.com is the URL. Here's where you register. It's the 15th through the 18th. The agenda is now open to everyone to see, so you can pop into the agenda and see what's happening on a daily basis. The first day is mainly checking in and kind of getting to navigate the platform. And then the other 3 days you will go into general session. So great idea is to, if you're going to invite somebody to family reunion, even if you only invited them to the vision speech, which I'm looking for it, I want to say that's on the 17th. And then shared that via Zoom with anybody that you'd like sharing that experience with you. It's a great way to have them see what the market's going to be doing and having them be on the same platform and have a discussion around that as you are watching it. So
it will be recorded as well. So if you're listening to it and you're like, "Dang it, that was good. Now he went so fast, I didn't get the notes," jot it down, and then you can go back to it. Okay. There was a few that we were going back to as leadership. So I highly encourage it. And even if you guys, if you get 3 big rocks that you're going to use for the next quarter, it's worth it. It is worth it. Just going into the script off, that will be worth it. I don't know. There's something about that energy with Jason and everybody. Yeah, it's a lot of energy. May's shaking her head. Yeah. There's a ton of energy. All right, you guys, real quick, because I want to protect everybody's time. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate it. Let's talk about listings. What's going on? Who has a listing they want to tout?
Can I ask 2 questions really quick, please?
Yes, Lisa. Yes.
First is the Inman. We have to have a subscription for it. Do we have a subscription through Keller Williams that we can use, or do we need to do it individually?
It's an individual thing, and I'm sure Patrick will send something. I think
okay. And then the second thing, I have a request for a speaker, if we can get him, Gene Rivers, to talk about holding rental property. He's amazing.
Funny. Okay, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. We are looking at Gene Rivers for a different class. I was talking with another, he was supposed to email me. I need to look at that. But yes, and you said investment. He did this in, I think it was Roseville we went to last year. Very, very good. Great class. Thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. Thank you. All right. I just wrote that down. What else, you guys? Anybody want to talk about their listings or have any other questions? Go ahead, Brian, tech dude.
Okay, Norma has a listing coming up. It's that lake that we're going to put on about April, I think. It's you own the whole lake, 200 acres around it, and a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with a couple of garages. The lake was big enough to hold water ski contests on, so it's pretty cool. It's up by Burson, and it's going to go on at about 1.9 million.
This is Mountain House, right? Not Mountain House.
By Burson on the way to Valley Springs.
Okay, yeah.
It's I call it Shangri-La. You can see the valley from it, and you can see Valley Springs, the mountains, and it's kind of like tucked in. Real beautiful place.
Nice. I just saw she was up in the mountains earlier this weekend too.
Yeah, she was showing a guy a few properties up there.
Awesome.
Listing coming up.
Go ahead, Janet.
Thank you. So 18451 Merritt Drive in River Islands is hitting the market on Wednesday. It's just under 2,900 square feet. It could be potentially a 5-bedroom. It's got a master bedroom suite downstairs and then another additional bedroom downstairs. And then a loft and 2 other bedrooms upstairs. And then, like I said, there's an office that could be turned in. So it could potentially be a 5-bedroom. It's got about $100,000 in upgrades. It's on a corner lot. The house is only a year and a half old. It's so beautiful. It's got, like I said, so many upgrades. That property is going to be listed at $669,900. But there's just no inventory in River Island. So bring your clients and bring your offers.
Awesome.
Well, great. I have a listing in River Island too.
Hey.
It'll be coming on the market Friday. It is 4,062 square feet on a 1/4 acre lot. 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath. There's a bedroom with its own bathroom downstairs. Just a young couple's lived in there and the house is immaculate. It looks just like a brand new home.
Yeah.
So that'll be on the market Friday.
What are you pricing that at, Lisa?
I think 800.
Okay.
Hello, where's your phone?
Okay, somebody needs to mute themselves. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Anybody else?
Have a listing coming up.
Thank you, Linda. You're next.
Pardon me?
Steve Rowland's next. I could tell that he wanted to say.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So it's in Glenbriar, 2852 Clover Hill Court. It's a 4-3 pool, spa. Let's see. It's got a dog run, a fire pit. Sorry. Let's see. So right now we're just painting it, getting it ready. It won't be for a few weeks, but 2,100 square feet, 7,200 on the lot.
Nice. Thank you so much, Linda. Steve, did you have one? Oh, you're muted, my friend. You're muted. There you go.
Okay. So if you look at the backdrop, I'll get out of the way here.
Woo,
You can see that we put the property on Milton Road back in the market again. We reduced the price. It's $1.5 million. The house is almost 6,000 feet. So these days you couldn't even rebuild a house, much else get the 63 acres that comes with it. Separate shop, separate apartment. It's just off Highway 4 on Milton Road between there and Oakdale. 20 minutes into town is all. Great property, good value, kind of rolling hills, and you can see everywhere from there, except River Island. You can't see that. But other than that, you can see a lot. So please keep that one in mind. It is in the market, available to show, and waiting for the right buyer.
Nice. Thank you, Steve. Anybody else want to talk about a listing? Janet McMahon.
I have one coming in Tracy on, I think it's February 9th. It should be hitting the market. It is about 2,700 square feet, 5 bedrooms, possible 5 bedrooms. 2 of those are downstairs with 2 full baths downstairs because there's, there's 4 full bathrooms. It's a very unique property with like an outside courtyard in the front of the house. It's on an 18,000 square foot lot. And it's at 1501 Veranda Court. So it's in a court, and this little court has a park in it. So it's a real great setting. RV access galore, huge driveway. And we're going to be listing that at $689. And then I have one coming a little bit later down the road in Ripon. That's going to be a 5 bedroom, 3 bath, full bath. It is a tri-level. And that also has RV access, 2 sheds. And that'll be hitting around $599.
Nice. Thank you, Janet. I appreciate it. Brian raised his hand.
Yeah, one more thing. They're still having a problem with the Metrolist and KW connecting up. So when you're going to run ads, you're just going to have to do some kind of workaround and use Metrolist as your landing page because it's just not working still.
Okay. There was a glitch when they released all of this, right?
Yeah, the IDX, the API and everything, all the numbers changed and they just haven't got it together. I don't know why they didn't anticipate it, but they didn't.
Yeah, and things happen, you guys. It's life, and we just have to roll with it. We do. I mean, it's just part of it. It sucks. Trust me, I know. I've gotten a ton of texts and emails, but it's part of life when you're dealing with technology, right? And everyone's trying to improve it. That's why the MLS is improving their system. It's just one of those things. Totally get it. All right.
It'll be much better once it's done.
Yeah. Right.
Michelle,
Yes, Geneva.
Michelle, I have a commercial property that I'm trying to move. It's 602 Commerce in Manteca. And it's 350. It has a small shop, about 1,200 square feet, and then it has an office and bathroom. So
awesome. Thank you.
Anybody else has an investor.
Can you check Chrissy the address? Are you asking Geneva, Chrissy? She's driving, or I wouldn't say
She
driving.
wants the River Island
Yes,
properties.
for-
Yeah, if you guys want to pop in your addresses and chat, that'll be good. Another way to share.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Geneva. And put it in the chat, Geneva, as well. So if everybody can put their address.
I was expecting an offer from Tracy, but I haven't seen it.
Well, we better make.
Thank you.
Awesome. Anybody else, you guys? We have still about 52 people on here, so I know there's more listings that came up over the weekend. So who else wants to chime in? I know it's 12:12, so I want to respect everybody's time as well. Anybody? Okay, so at 1 o'clock we do have an IALC, which is ALC Zoom for the IALC, which will probably be just about 15 minutes for that call. We just have to vote on a few different things for the agents. So I will see everybody then. And if you have any questions or any suggestions, just give me a call, email me, or text. You guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Real quick, Geneva. Steve Rowland needs something about the commercial. Yes. And then Patrick Bill actually put the Inman link in the chat box as well. Is that what you wanted to say, Patrick? Okay. Anybody else? I don't want to close out if we're still going. So yay, nay, can
Monday.
Did you put yours in there? I can't tell yet, Geneva. There we go.
I'm sorry?
Put your information on the commercial listing in the
I don't
chat.
have my glasses on, so I probably got some typos.
Hey, when we log off, Janet McMahon, can you stay on? And if Renee's here, I just want to kind of go over, make sure I understand what we're voting on today.
We're gonna review it all together at 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
It's okay, but if you can, it's just yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you though, Janet. I appreciate it.
And Michelle, when you say we, you mean the ALC, right?
Yeah, just the ALC. We just have to vote. Well, they do. They have to vote. And then I have to vote, but there's more questions. I have more questions. And it's just like voting on a proposition when all the information's not there. So,
anything from police?
All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. It was great seeing everybody. Thank you, May, for being our guest.
Thank you for having me.